Took that in away, battling, having got in way of the attempted clearance. Jim Gannon. Oh, great flick of Alan Armstrong.
It's against Bradford, but here's Warburton!
Yes!
Allen trying to manufacture the shot, gets it away, yeah!
Not got it clear. Please, sir! It's a cracker!
Running Armstrong, played in again, and a superb goal!
Tony Goody! Stockport County are the champions of League Two.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Stockport War with me, Russ Johnson, joined tonight by Dan and Righty, two usual staunches of the podcast. And we're going to be joined very soon by a special guest who's going to join us for the rest of the show. We'll get her out very soon. Just wanted to say we're part of the Talksport Fan Network, and also partners with the charity Mental, men's mental health charity. So if you are struggling, please reach out to them, and the details will be in the description. How we doing, boys? You okay? Plenty of county news and England news to talk about, isn't there?
Yeah, few signings.
The more I watch that intro, the better it becomes, I think. We got in the post today, Penno Draw's top trumps cards that turned up.
Oh, yeah.
The boys going through them and looking at them, and he's going, "Who's Michael Rose?" And I went, "He's got magic toes." So then we spent 10 minutes on YouTube looking at Michael Rose's smashes in from left, right, and centre. So yeah, it's just that nostalgic intro is top notch for me.
I like the intro with my headsets seemingly not working or picking up too much feedback. Obviously, I've got you on loudspeaker, so in a beer garden in Newquay, and everyone's just heard the intro here. So yeah, expected to pick up a few county fans along the way, you know.
Running around with a net trying to pick up county fans. So just for everybody that does watch the show regularly, yeah, Righty, you were meant to be in Frankfurt, weren't you? But you're not.
Yeah, I was supposed to go out to Frankfurt. I was supposed to fly from Manchester to Dublin, and then Dublin to Frankfurt because that was the cheapest way it was going to work out. Unfortunately, we've had a bit of an incident with a supplier and been scammed out of some tickets. I dare say we're not the first, and I dare say we won't be the last. So the lads decided, right, we managed to recoup our money through insurances and whatnot, but instead of that, we thought we'd just come to have a bit of a road trip to Newquay. I'm just currently in the walkabout there. There was 750 fans for the last game. So we booked ourselves in. So we're going to be in the fan zone here, and it'll be quite a lively atmosphere. Well, I'm hoping so. And a few drinks along the way. So looking forward to the game tomorrow night.
Nice. And if you are out in Germany listening to this, please do tweet us with pictures from yourselves in Germany. We're getting some of those through already. So we'll retweet those and reply. Stay safe. Watch England and hopefully bring the trophy back, which we've never said ever in our lifetimes, have we? I guess it's never happened in our lifetime. So who knows?
It's coming home, Ross. It's coming home, Ross. It's coming home.
I know, yeah, coming home. Just a quick thanks to everybody that's online now. Obviously, a bit of a quiet night tonight, right in slap bang in the middle of the season, in the pre-season, slap bang in the middle of Euros almost. So Scotland are on now, playing, probably going to get slapped again. So I think people would rather watch that, which I can't blame them. But if you're with us, thank you very much. And if you're listening after the live event, cheers, thank you. All the usual names are online, as you would expect. Okay, shall we get our guest out and then we'll get into the agenda? How about that?
Sounds good.
Okay, so making her debut on the Scarf Bagara War podcast, it's only Jess Gregory.
Running Armstrong, played in again, and a superb goal, and it's Connery who scored it.
Good evening, Jess.
Evening, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
Good, thank you. Yeah.
Good. So we ask every debutant on this podcast to answer some questions. So we'll ask you, and if you can remember the answers, or if you've got answers for them, then great. If you haven't, don't worry about it, because nobody can remember this first one, which is, when was your first game at County?
I can't remember. So I got the text through before. So I texted my dad. I was like, I've been going for over 20 years. I said, Dad, what was my first county game? And he sent me, some of the fixtures from early 2000s. And I said, no, in my look, it was probably Crewe when I was a young child. To be honest, I don't actually remember.
Fair dues. Do you remember what year it was, or are we talking a range of years? Does he remember?
We're going for about 2004.
Right. Fair enough. Okay. Favorite player? It can be a past player, it can be a present player, or you can have one of each. It's up to you.
Combination between Ashley Williams. So it's good to see him on the TV still.
Yeah.
Adam Proudlock was one of my favourites as well. I remember when the bungalow was still around, going outside and meeting all the players at the end of the game, shaking his hand, and then running back into the pub being like, I'm not going to wash my hands.
He was quality, wasn't he, Adam Proudlock?
Yeah, he was. Especially as a goalkeeper.
Yeah. Do you remember the songs? Do you remember the songs at the time about Adam Proudlock? Because you'd have only been young then, wouldn't you? I think.
Yeah, I was about 9 or 10, I think. I'm not going to sing for you though.
No. But do you remember the songs that we sung about him?
No.
So I'm pretty sure I will get fact checked in the comments. I'm pretty sure, but it started off with "We're on the Piss" with Adam Proudlock. I think that's right, isn't it? And then did he come out and say something about it, as if, don't say that. I don't know if he's a recovering alcoholic or what, but basically he said, "Can you change it?" And we started to sing "Nice Cup of Tea" with Adam Proudlock. Yeah. I remember that, right, Anna Dan, righty?
Yeah, I remember the cup of tea. Bit, for sure.
Yeah.
I loosely remember it.
Yeah. But yeah, that goal. He scored a bagful for us, didn't he? But that goal on that pitch against, was it Wickham, 6-0?
Yeah, was it when he got the hat-trick and scored in a bog?
Yeah, brilliant. Your favourite game ever for County? Let's stick with County.
Nuneaton's up there, I would say. And Watford, is it was 2007, the FA Cup?
Say that again.
Watford away, the 2007 FA Cup.
Oh, right. Yeah. That was a belter. That we scored first, didn't we?
Yeah.
Everyone went mental. Oh, okay, we lost 4-1 in the end, didn't we? But was it Malky Mackay got a goal? I think, did he?
David Poole, I think it was.
Yeah, David Poole scored for us. Malky Mackay was playing for them, I think, at the time. And your favourite ever county goal?
Gleeson.
Strong choice. Yeah, it's in the titles. Nice. Yes, good stuff. You've passed the test. We know you're a county fan. There you go.
I was going to come on and say my first match Wrexham away, but didn't want to ruffle any feathers.
Good stuff. Right. So on the agenda tonight, then, we are going to talk about very briefly, just mention the season tickets and Pinar tickets. We're going to talk about the ins, the transfer ins. So Jack Diamond and Connolly. We're going to talk about Crowsdale as well. Obviously, he's left. I think he left early anyway, but he sort of sent us a message. Bit about the Simon Wilson interview, and then we'll talk about England. Righty's going to shoot off at around 1:30, so we've got half an hour, another 20 minutes of Righty, and then we'll wrap things up, and everybody can go and watch the second half of Scotland. So first things first, then. Season tickets capped, 6,500. Dan, let's come to you first.
Yeah.
I mean, we spoke about it on last week's pod. Obviously, you weren't here, but still, it never fails to impress me. Like 6,500 season tickets, and we've sold the maximum we can sell for this season.
I think it's a bit of FOMO, isn't it? Everyone's now got the fear of missing out. If you hadn't had a season ticket before and you were trying to get tickets for games and the hassle of getting them, then I think people have sort of learned and thought, no, I'm just going to buy a season ticket. Obviously, the same again. A lot of young kids. People will argue about the price of the adult tickets, but the kids' tickets are still cracking value for me. And I just think it'd be interesting to see actually out of that increase, that 6,500, what's the actual increase on adult tickets or concession tickets or kids tickets? And hopefully the biggest uplift is actually on the youth kids tickets. They're the ones that we really want to be jumping up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. We never see that breakdown, do we? We never see that. Yeah.
Can I ask a genuine question about season tickets? Because I'm a bit in the unknown about this, but is it capped at a certain amount of the capacity of the ground? Am I right in believing that?
They have to keep so many tickets available for walk-ups or for sale on the day, and they're also meant to keep obviously the away tickets, and obviously the issues with the away tickets and number of ones that are meant to be under the roof and stuff like that. But I think, I personally think, they've capped it at a point where they know that if they start redevelopment work at the end of next year, they're not leaving themselves short. They've not sold any tickets in the railway end, have they? They've kept that as a spare in case we need to give it to away fans, and if there's no demand from home, then we'll give it to away fans. If we've got the demand, then it will be county fans in there. But I just same again. I think it's just the right thing to do, and with it. So but I do think there is limitations on how many they have to have available, and same in hospitality as well. What people forget, all them hospitality in the suites and stuff, they all need a seat in the game as well. So obviously they need to keep them seats separate, as well as players' tickets and directors' tickets and all them lots. So there's a lot. I
didn't know if it was like an EFL rule where they said, or throughout the football league where they said, right, well, you can only sell or you can only give 60% or 70% of your capacity to season ticket holder. You've got to keep the rest free. I didn't know if there was some sort of rule into like for that for football clubs and that.
I thought there was. I thought there was an upper limit that the EFL. I might be wrong. That they come in and say you can't sell more than that. But I think I get the impression that we're doing it sort of maybe slightly under that, like Dan said, to allow people, walk-ups in the traditional sense, but certainly people to buy tickets, who are not season ticket holders, and they've got one. They must have one eye on the redevelopment as well. It's a good point. Jess, what do you obviously not been on the show before, so it's good to get some opinions. What do you make of the whole redevelopment and from where we've come from to what it looks like now in the future? Are you excited? Or
I am excited, but we are a family club, and I want it to still have that authenticity and not for it to be ruined by glory hunters.
Very okay, fair, very well put. But we've got to allow for that, though, haven't we? Because in order to grow, we've got to get these kids who are United and City fans in the borough come in, and their parents might be glory hunters. I get what you mean. I think I draw the line personally at wearing other shirts at county. I don't mind them coming as long as they don't wear other shirts, that kind of thing. I know what you mean. I take it. Well, we all season ticket holders here. I think we're pretty much, aren't we? Yeah. Massive kudos to Dan, who's a season ticket holder and he lives in Lowestoft. So, that's got to be applauded. I mean, Righty, you're pretty far out as well, aren't you? As well in
Kirk and Preston area. So it takes me about 45 minutes in. But I don't mind. Get on the train, have a few beers on the road. So it's not too bad. Might be a bit more difficult now. My dad's bloody had his accident, but might have to drive in a couple more times and be a bit more sensible. But yes, I'm looking forward to the season starting. To be honest with you.
Yeah. I think we all are. Let's not forget the CED fixtures are out next Wednesday at 9:00 in the morning. So next week's show we'll be reviewing who we have. I mean, we know who we've got. We've got to play everybody home and away, haven't we? But on to Pinar tickets then very quickly. They went on sale. This is a difficult one, isn't it? They're €10 each. certainly know that me and Dan are going over, as well as Jimmy from the podcast. I guess we'll never know how many we're going to sell, will we? Unless the club contact Pinar and tell us.
Yeah, and
I'm also going over.
Oh, are you? Oh, nice. Okay, so we'll see you there.
Great.
We'll
I'm the only one left out here. Oh, dear me.
But yeah, it's just one of them ones because you don't know how many, obviously, Derby are taking as well. I think we've just all not been allocated a seat or anything. It's just you're in this stand, and I don't even know what the stand holds or what the capacity of Pinar is. But yeah, I mean, I think the club will have an idea of how many county fans will be out there because obviously the fan event, they've sold tickets for that. So they should have a rough idea of if you bought a fan event a ticket, then you're obviously going to be out there for it. So, but no, I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely, yeah. So I've heard that the fan event is, well, we've not heard it. We know the fan event's sold out, but there are people going over who haven't got tickets for the fan event. Surely we can get them in, surely.
Yeah, I went over last year as well.
Right. Okay. So what? Give us some insight then. What are we to expect? Because we've never. I mean, me and Dan have never been before. You didn't go last year, did you, Dan? So
No.
Yeah. What were you going to expect then, Jess? What's it like? Is it good? Is it bad?
A pretty nice setup, to be fair. You know, it's been much better than Salford away. So we went over last year. We didn't go to the fan event. I won't be going again this year just because of work commitments. But you know, it's very well set up. There's a bar there. If you get vodka Coke, you might be able to sneak your drinks into the stand. Just a top tip.
Like it.
Nice.
Oh, dear.
No, it's great setup, and obviously all the players are there. So they were very open to have pictures and have a chat last year. So hopefully they're the same again this year.
That's good. Hopefully they'll be open to having a chat with us and getting some recordings. I think Jess, you're breaking up a bit there, Jess. I'm not sure if it's your internet connection. Ian Dowden says.
To be fair, Russ, I've actually been over to Pinar. I've actually been over to Pinar. Yes. And I played a cricket match there against a team called Pinar Pirates, which was on the next field to where Stockport County would be playing against friendly. We didn't even manage to finish the game. We got kicked off by Deportivo La Coruña, who were playing Elche, right?
Oh, nice.
Because the ground was like enclosed by a load of like fencing and the cameras weren't allowed in. That's what the pitch they wanted. So we was halfway through the game and they stuck the sprinklers on to get us off. So we're all diving for cover like in this rain, and the sprinklers had to dive for cover. And the next minute, the bus turns up with all Deportivo La Coruña coming off. I thought that was quite an eye opener, you know, posh bus and all that, TVs, everything, different world over there.
Must be a decent place then if you've got the likes of Deportivo La Coruña and Elche, you know, training there as well and having a sort of behind closed doors friendly. So
a lot of the international under 16 teams have like tournaments there as well, and under 18s and stuff. Yeah, so it's used, you know, like I say, a lot of the under 16s, 15s football teams. You know, I think England have played there as well. You know, like that level. So it's like
Sorry, go on.
So it's like I say, it's quite renowned and sort of highly respected in it.
Yeah, and I noticed that obviously Derby are playing Lincoln and another team. I can't remember. I noticed when I bought the tickets, there was Lincoln versus someone else. I can't remember which other team it was. So I don't think we're going to be there alone.
Yeah,
there's going to be other fans there. So yeah, really looking forward to that. And yeah, hopefully we will have some content for you while we're over there and possibly straight after as well once we've edited it and things like that. So watch out for that. Let's move on to the recent signings that we've made then. So obviously Jack Diamond was the first one to come in, and then we got a surprise with Connolly. First, let's talk about Jack Diamond. So, pretty good pedigree, I'd say. Pretty young, fits the bill for the club, all the criteria that we're after. Has had some time out for, let's say, a personal issue that's been resolved. Does anybody know anything about this player? Have you seen him before, or known of him from anywhere else?
The only thing I've known is through Harrogate Town, and I've spoken to a few people, and they highly rate him. I think obviously the incident that's occurred and personal reasons has set his career back a little bit, but sometimes fresh start, a club that will look after him, a management system that will look after him, a fan base that will look after him, and get right behind him. I think he'll thrive, and I think it fits the bill of the player that, like you said before, that we're kind of looking at, someone that's going to step up, play in that league for years, if not move up with us, and be able to move up with us as well. So I personally think that's my favourite signing so far at the moment. I think he'll be a fantastic player, and let's face it, Charles not let us down yet, has he? I'm just really excited to see him hit the pitch, hit the ground running. I think when he joined Carlisle, I think he'd been out for a little bit, and he had no pre-season. Kind of came in a team that was struggling at the bottom of the league. Don't think they saw the best of him. I think a few people from Carlisle, I've got my neighbour who's across the road, he was a Carlisle fan, and he basically said there was a player in there, but we didn't see him because I think of lack of fitness, lack of time on the field. And I think with a good pre-season behind him, I think he's going to hit the ground running. I think he's going to be a really positive signing for us.
Yeah, he ticks all the boxes that obviously in the Mark Stott interview at the end of the season about younger players, hungry players, also looking for players that have got some games under their belt at League One or Championship, and he ticks all the boxes. Yeah, the elephant in the room is obviously the court case. We don't need to go into it too much. All the information's there for people to look at. There's an interview with Piers Morgan on YouTube for people to go and look at. And, this is not this. I've seen people mention that like it's the same as Mason Greenwood. This is completely different. This is more like the Dave Jones situation that Dave Jones was in than the Mason Greenwood one. And, people can go and read up all about it themselves and put that to bed. I think the same again. Hungry player. He's lost his way a little bit. Obviously, it's the same a bit like Alden Bailey to a certain extent. All that going on in the background, his mental health must have been absolutely on the ground. And like I say, we offered Alden Bailey an environment, a platform to excel, and he earned himself a contract out of it. And I think the environment that the county have with Dave Challoner and the other lads, I just, if he wants to be progressing his career, I think this is the point where he's going to go, right, this is the environment and this is the place where I can actually kick on. And if he can kick on, then, as a club, that's brilliant news for us as a team.
Yeah. We've said it before, haven't we, about the environment and how important that is. And it really is important, isn't it? For any player, really, especially when you've got... I don't want to keep on coming back to it, but something like that hanging over your head, which must be awful. And we obviously don't know what's gone on there, but yeah. Don't know, Jess, what do you think? I mean, Jack Diamond, which kind of player you want to see at the club? Happy to see him come in. Excited about it?
Yeah, don't really know a lot about him, but as you said, the support and the facilities that we've got in place now to support young players, probably the best place for him to be.
Sorry, Righty, we're getting loads of background noise. So I'm going to mute you until you come in, if that's all right. Sorry, go on, Jess.
Sorry, I was just saying the facilities and the support that we've already got in place is the right place for a young player ready to kickstart his career again. So probably the best place for him at the moment.
Yeah, you're probably right. Some comments are coming in here. So Anthony Nixon says Diamond must be rated by Simon Wilson from Sunderland time. Not so sure about that. We'll come to the Wilson interview shortly, but we believe we tried to sign him before. I think somebody mentioned that as well. That I think did Charlie mention that he'd been someone he'd been looking at for a long time. I think we hear that a lot. Or we've been looking at this player for a long time. Then Ian Dowden says all four new signs have two things in common: power and pace. Yeah, which I think again, Wilson mentioned that in his interview. That's what we're seeing, isn't it? Seeing that that need for more specimens. I called them specimens a couple of podcasts ago. Do you know what I mean? Just more athleticism, I think, is probably the word I'm looking for.
I think that's how
Go on, Dan.
I think that's how Simon Wilson described it in his interview this week, and it's the level of athleticism. I can't bloody pronounce it now. That level of expected of being fit and being strong and power and pace is obviously a lot higher in League One.
Yeah, absolutely. Just reading out some of his stats then. So clearly he's had a bit of a gap in his CV, as you would imagine. So. But yeah, 16 appearances for Carlisle last season on loan between January and June, no goals. So didn't, like I say, just going back to what you said before, didn't hit the ground running kind of thing. Lincoln City before that, August 22 to March 2023, 36 appearances, 8 goals. And he is somebody that plays striker or sort of out on the left as well. So, but I think they mentioned he could play anywhere across the front, didn't they? So that'll be one to watch. And then, he's part of the youth system, and I think we know him mainly from his time at Harrogate.
I think I've noticed that a lot across a lot of the signings that he's made, the versatility of all the players that he signed. I don't know whether that's due to the fact that so many injuries last year. I don't know, but the versatility of i.e. Connolly that's come in who can play across anywhere across the back. The 2 lads from Colchester that can play in multiple positions, and the same. It's like Diamond, he can play in a lot of different positions, which is good. It can only benefit us, can't it, at the end of the day?
Absolutely.
I think that ties in as well with obviously what we'll get to is what Simon Wilson said about the number of squad players that he expects to have in the team this year. And I think that it's going to be a lot smaller than the players they have to play in different positions.
Yeah, because I think he mentioned, did he say 20? He said 20 registered players, didn't he, with 4 emerging?
Talent. And like I say, in comparison, last season we used 40 players over the 4 competitions that we played in. We used 40 players. 13 of them players played 5 or less games, with 8 of them 13 only playing once for County last season. And we had 8 loan players come in. So, like I say, I think they're aiming for a smaller squad to use less players. But so the only way to do that is just to have like players that can play left side, right side, multiple positions. And I think that's the way he's sort of like building up on.
Yeah. And it leads us nicely onto Callum Connolly, because he can play, obviously a new signing, his contract down at Blackpool. He can play centre back, right back, central defensive midfield, or I think at a push, central midfield by the sounds of it. Comes with bags and bags of experience, especially in the Championship. For me, I'm going to go against you, Righty. I'm going to say Callum Connolly to me is more exciting. That says more about me than it does you, though. That I like players that don't really attack and score goals. I like that number 6 defensive central midfielder type player.
I know what you're saying. With me living obviously where I am, I've got lots of mates, best mates that are like Blackpool season ticket holders and this, that and the other. And I'm not trying to like downplay him. Like I said to you in the podcast, was it a couple of weeks ago? It's got to be the right club. It's got to be the right fit for the player as well to gain the best out of that player. The same with the management system as well and the training facilities. And sometimes it might even just be as simple as I need a fresh start. And a fresh hunger for the game. So hopefully, he's going to prove, because he's come with a little bit, to me, I don't know, I've never seen him play properly, but it's come as a little bit of a mixed bag. Some people really like him. Some people have said, this, that and the other. Not going to downplay him because I want to make my own judgment of him, if you will, when he plays. And I just wish him the best. And he's got the best platform to build upon with us guys. I'm just excited to see him hit the floor running, as I am with all the new signings and the players from last year. So, but yeah, like I said, just wishing him the best. And yeah, hopefully he does all right. But I know what you're saying. You like the solidarity, don't you?
Yeah, I'm a bit boring like that. It's slow and steady. That's what I like. It's just a bit boring. Jess, do you know much about this player? Have you heard of him before?
No, but I've also seen some of the negative comments. Stockport buying the league again.
You saw
Blackpool
that,
bedwetters, basically, aren't they? But prone to a card. Yeah, prone to a card. But I'm similar to you, Russ. A solid formation at the back, and if he is versatile, if we did go through all the injuries like last season, he could fill several gaps if it ever came to that.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed it doesn't. You're right about the cards, though. He had 7 yellow cards last season. But yeah, what excites me about him is as well, and maybe I shouldn't look into this too much, but on some of the sites, I'm looking at FOTMob at the moment. His market value is 1.1 million, and I just look at that and go, bloody hell! Even when we were in the Championship last time, they probably were worth more than that, to be fair. But you didn't see it because the internet wasn't a thing then, was it? Do you know what I mean? But I see stuff like that, and I see the clubs that he's played for, and they're fantastic. So Everton, Wigan, obviously Wigan, I think in the Prem, if not just in the Championship at the time. Ipswich, Bolton. Okay, Lincoln and Fleetwood started to drop down, but Blackpool definitely in League One and then in the Championship. So it's just exciting for me that we're signing players from those leagues now, and not sort of.
And you can't be a mug to play for England under 21s as well.
Well, exactly. I just remember the days, and I know people say, "Oh, yeah, but that was then, and this is now." But I remember the days when a player didn't come to us because he got offered £10 extra a week to go to Halifax. Do you know what I mean, or something like that? And now we're signing these type of players. It's just really exciting. But yeah, you can definitely tell, can't you? Like you say, that they're going for players that can play in all these different positions. No one.
And the thing with that one is obviously nobody picked him out. There was no rumours about him that signing. I think it was announced at late one evening on Saturday or Sunday. It just come out of the blue, that one. And it weren't a player that I thought was on the radar or heard whispers about like you do with a lot of players. And at the same time, I'm hoping he's like a Keith Briggs type player. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want out of him. You look at it, his experience. Yes, he's
good looking.
Well, just someone that can play midfield, play defence, just put a shift in for you. And he's the same. He's one of them ones. He's a signing that's gone under the radar, and some might think it's a bit underwhelming and not big fanfare or anything like that. And it might actually turn out to be the signing of the season for me.
Mm.
It is what I say. One of them people that if you can play plenty experience this level and higher. He's played in the Championship before, so he knows what it takes. And I just think with a lot of young players in that team, he could actually just be him and Powell could really be an anchor point.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. The Boonab says it was devastated when Montrose went to Fylde because they were professional and we weren't. Yes. Do you remember those days, guys? Dark days. There's a podcast series about that on our channel. Go and have a listen.
Ross, I'm going to have to disappear now, but Jess, Daniel, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you, and hopefully I'll see you a few more times. Anyone in Newquay or Cornwall wants to make the way to Walkabout in Newquay for a few beers and follow County with me, watching England and Sporting County on the way. Happy days. If not, I'll catch you all in a little bit. But I can obviously tell that the background noise is a bit too much, and obviously my mates will disown me if I don't go and find them. But it's been an absolute pleasure, guys, and I will catch you very soon.
Yeah, cheers for coming on, mate. Take care. Have a good time.
No problem.
Bye.
Take care, guys. See you later.
Stephen Gleeson, what a beauty!
There we go. He's gone to enjoy himself with beer on holiday. It's very nice, isn't it? And we've all got work in the morning, probably. Yeah, so carrying on. So, in fact, let's move on. So, they're the players who are coming. Crowsdale, I know we knew Crowsdale was leaving anyway, didn't we? Because that was announced, but he's moved to Port Vale now and did a nice little message, sort of a farewell message. Sad to see him go, Jess? Or did you think it was the right time?
I do think it was the right time for him to go, but the Crowsdale Collar matchup in the middle, it's unheard of now, isn't it? I don't think you're going to get a dynamic duo like that anytime soon.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, there's probably Bennett and Marsden. There's probably loads. But you're right. They're the latest ones, aren't they? The way you think. He was always a blanket.
Frayne and Payne for me.
Frayne and Payne. Oh, was it Mark Payne?
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to get him on the podcast. I keep on getting minded to get him on the podcast. I will get him on the podcast, Mark Payne. Yeah, it was Bennett and Marsden for me. But yeah, Collar and Crowsdale rolls off the tongue as well, doesn't it? Collar and Crowsdale.
I think the surprising bit about Crowsdale was that I thought he was going to Bradford, and all the talk was he was off to Bradford, and sort of Port Vale came out of the woodwork. To be honest, well, best to him. Same again. Another player will keep an eye on and watch, and But I think the players that have come in at the moment, apart from maybe obviously replacements for Paddy and Sars, but everything else has been better than what we had that's gone out the door, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's sad to see them go into it, though. I mean, I do get sort of quite ruthless with it personally, because once they've gone, I kind of think, well, they've gone now. They don't play for us. I'm not going to start looking out for their career. But I don't know, these ones that have got us up the league, out of the National League and into the Football League, have definitely got a soft spot for him. Waggy's online. Good time for him to move on. Glad he's gone to a League Two side, and now we should get a Crosby 2.0. Hope you had a good holiday, Waggy. Thanks for commenting. Yeah, Crosby 2.0. That's what we need next, isn't it? And then we need a Crosby 3.0 after that.
I mean, going full circle with it all, the best way would be County are in the Championship in 3 years' time, and then Steve Bellis is welcoming them players on at the pitch at half time. As County heroes and County greats as they should be. That's the perfect world, isn't it?
Yeah. They're all welcome back, and they're all in this. Is it the professional footballers thing that James Jennings has got going on? Yeah, you're right. That is that's hopefully the plan. Someone's made a comment here. Oh, Ian Dowden. Every player that's left has gone to a League Two club, though, which says a lot. Which I think that's quite a big thing, because you don't want players leaving and going to rival clubs like we've had in the past. So yeah, that does say a lot. One player though that I did want to pick out who has gone to a League One club, who used to play for us, is Ben Whitfield. I don't know if you noticed that. He went to Burton. Yeah.
With the Elliot Watt that apparently we were meant to be done deal and sign, which obviously didn't transpire. But that's football. But yeah, that's a bit of an interesting one, Ben Whitfield, isn't it?
Yeah, he's probably. Someone put it on Twitter. That's definitely us getting Burton on the first match at home and him scoring 2 or 3 goals, isn't it? You can just see that coming. Last word on the players then, and the sort of the players in and out. Do you see Charlie making a change to the structure of how we play, or even shape, and maybe even how we approach games with possibly these new players?
Hard to say. I've not seen Diamond or Connolly play yet, so it'll be interesting to see what Pinatar's like, just to as a trial run. But why change anything that worked? We were champions for a reason, and if it's going to work in League One, keep it going.
Yeah, just upgrade the players, keep with the same intensity, and hopefully it pays off, doesn't it? Yeah. Is Pinar the first chance we get to see him? I don't think it is it? Did we play earlier than that as well in friendlies? I've not even seen the friendly schedule.
I don't know. Don't know off the top of my head.
No, same.
Somebody will mention it in a minute. I'm not. I think there is a friendly before they go out to Pinar. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what we'll do is we'll for next week when the fixtures, we'll have a fixtures fest next week. So when the fixtures come out, we'll know where all the friendlies are. I just know we're playing Derby on the Friday while we're in Spain. So that's what's in my head at the moment. I think it's Chester away, isn't it? Yeah, probably. Chester and Oldham. That's it. So we've got a few friendlies. Looking forward to those. Okay. Simon Wilson interview then. There was loads to pick out from this. I watched it and like a sad div that I am, I sat there and took notes. So I've got loads to go off. But yeah, just wanted to get your overall view of this. And firstly, I think just to comment on loads of people were at his throat for a certain decision that he made earlier on when he was at County. And JK mentioned that. But yeah, just wanted to get your overall feeling, starting with you, Dan, sort of from then to now. What do you think in terms of Simon Wilson?
I mean, same again. It's a hard job, obviously. We're all, I think most 90% of County fans are upset with the sacking of Jim Gannon. That was then, obviously, the employment of Simon Rusk, which football always just didn't appeal. Even though you look at his win record, I think he had a 50% win record, which puts him in like the top 10 of all-time county managers. But he just didn't. I don't know if it's because he came after Jim Gannon. If he came further down the line, would he have been accepted a lot more? People make mistakes. Not every decision is going to go right for them. Do you have somebody that cowers and not makes the decisions because they're afraid of getting them wrong? Or, do you have somebody that has a vision and is going for it? At the end of the day, he's right and we're all wrong about him as such. He's proved himself that the decisions he's made, he's been spot on, to be honest. And, some people will go on about transfers, but even with the transfers, he's probably had 2 or 3 dud ones, but plenty of ones that have actually come in and made a positive impact. The same again, you don't expect every manager to get every transfer right. So, my opinion is that I think he's doing a cracking job. That anger of obviously Jim being sacked is well and truly gone now. It's moved on. We've moved on. Jim's moved on. And it's not even a case now, even if for some reason Dave Challoner moved on, you would even have Jim Gannon in the running to replace him. We've as a club, we've moved on from that. We've moved to a different level. I think he's doing a cracking. To be honest, a lot of people talk about, well, what happens if this player leaves or this player goes, or if, a lot of talk about Dave Challoner with other clubs. The biggest fear for me would actually at this not use the word project, but at this moment in time in the plan, is if we actually lost Simon Wilson.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good shout, Jess. What do you think about Simon Wilson? What's your thoughts on that?
I think in his interview, didn't he compare himself to Charlie? So, if they have got similar visions, we can only progress. I didn't like him at first. I'll be the first to admit.
What? Because of that? Because of what he did?
He is changing. Yeah, but I was a big Jim fan.
Yeah, I think 90% of County fans were.
Yeah. Just picking up on a few things that he said. Then let's have a bit of a chat about these. So, you call it a plan. So we're halfway through that plan. I like the way he opened up with basically saying anyone can write a plan, which they can, can't they? Delivering it is different, which is absolutely correct. Okay, he's had the means to do it, but you still have to do it. There's been many clubs that have have a plan, have the means, and still fail on that. And I quite liked the way he was open about the about the criticism that everybody had for him at the time. And he knows that he needs to maintain the trust of the fans, and he expects more criticism in the future. I think that's just part and parcel of being a director of football, isn't it? So
I think as well, the county fans we've been burnt before, with directors of football and them sort of, and people are thinking McKnight straight away, aren't they? When he first came in, and we sort of tarred him with, nice hair. Does he know what he's doing? Oh, he's failed at Sunderland. And forget all the positive bits. And I say he's not daft as well. When you listen to him, he knows that he's upset, not upset people, but people have not warmed to him the way he is. But you can't argue with him. You wouldn't argue with anything that's actually where the position the club's now in compared to where before he came. It's chalk and cheese.
Yeah, but I still think that when you say people weren't upset, people were upset.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely upset. Because it was obviously Jim, as simple as that. But we've moved on. That's the problem. We've moved on. Jim's moved on. It's not like Jim's managing Burton or something like a League One club, and he's really doing successful. And and if Dave Challoner goes, we're going, oh, we need to get Jim back. It's not. I don't even know if Jim's actually still managing nowadays, or if he actually has any involvement in football at all. We've moved on. We a completely different club now.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of comments here. Andy from the Cheadle end, spelt correctly. Nice one, Andy. He made a few more bad decisions, but he's going to get a load more right as well. Need to get him to sign an extension. I think so. I'm not sure if it works like that with directors of football, does it? And you're not just like us. You're on the payroll. I don't sign a contract extension every year. I don't know about you. I just go to work. I wonder if it's like that.
They'll have like say notice period of probably 6 months, won't they?
Yeah.
But like I say, I just can't fault him. And I found that in the whole interview was about managing expectations.
Yeah.
Look, if it's a transition period as such, without trying to use too many buzzwords, and if we're 14th at Christmas, then we just need to understand that we that isn't the end of the world for us. We're building a team for year 2 in League One or year 3 in League One. Obviously they'll go out to win matches, but sometimes it'll be spectacular, and sometimes with especially a young team, you'll get that inconsistency. And I just think that whole interview was just a little bit getting us all managing expectations, getting us a bit level, not thinking that we're going to be, storm it, or we're going to be top 3, or we're going to be in the playoffs. Yes, we would like to be, but football doesn't work always like that. And I think he said, if it beds in quickly, there'll be exciting times, but it might not bed in for a while. And we know Dave Challoner will always put a run together. He always does. He always puts a run of 10, 15, 20 games unbeaten or winning together. And, that's a division that you could be in the 15th at Christmas and 5th by the end of the season. And Dave Challoner is more than capable of putting them runs together to get you in them positions.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got the tools at his disposal, hasn't he? So there's nothing to say we can't do that. On this last thing on the Simon Wilson interview, then he obviously did say a lot. I've made a lot of notes. I think we'll drop these sprinkle these all over the pods as we move forward. But expectations, Jess. Simon Wilson talked about trying not to have expectations, just roll with it. What's your expectations for next season?
I think we've just got to be realistic. I'd be quite happy if we sat comfortably mid-table by the end of the season. I don't think pushing for promotion should be the top of our priority next season.
Yeah. So if we have a bad start, because that could happen, and the natives get restless, will you be one of those people getting restless, or are you quite laid back about it? Jess, did you hear that?
Sorry, it's just breaking up there.
Okay.
No, sorry, it just broke up a little bit.
Yeah, just about. I said about at the start of the season. If we say lost 3 of the first 5 wraps or 5 of the first 10, and the natives started getting restless, would you be one of those people that would start getting restless, or would you be quite calm about it?
Quite calm about it. It's typical county, I think. So.
I mean, yeah, Ian Dowden's just said that we always have a bad start. It's funny though, isn't it? Because was it Stott said that in his interview, didn't he, Dan? About we always have a bad start. Everyone thinks we always have a bad start. He's not really sure why that is. Why people think that, because we're not special, are we? We don't always have bad starts, do we? Does it just feel like that?
It's weird as well, but even like this season, we weren't playing. Even though we didn't win games, we weren't playing badly. You could see, that there was something there, with just a little bit of luck or a little bit of them moments. You start of the season, I think we played at Walsall, a couple of mistakes by Ethan Pye, and we ended up, I think, losing 2-1 in that game. And same again, stuck with it. The attitude, the plan was there, and he was going to stick with it. And we turned the corner. I'll be, if I'd take 12th now and a cup run, if we can 12th and playing somebody decent in the FA Cup third round, like an Arsenal or a Man U or a Liverpool, that's my season. I'm over the moon with that. I'll take that now for a decent, 12th and a decent cup tie.
Yeah, fair dues. Ian Dowden again. Lots of comments. 1993 was the last time we had a good start. I suppose it depends what you mean by good start, because I'm pretty sure in the National League North we had a start where we won the first 3 and finished, I don't know, 9th or something. I can't remember. So I'll probably get corrected though on that one. Okay, cool. Right, not much longer left. I told you it'd go quickly. We're on nearly 55 minutes almost. So let's move on to England. Bit of a chat about England. Next week, by the way, we will have Alex from DN35 on with us, and it will be probably a full England show about the Euros, about how we're doing. Hopefully we'll have qualified by then in a week's time. But it's looking good at the moment. So yeah, England, how do you think it's going? I mean, I got 11 out of 11 on FanHub for my predictor on Sunday night. I'm pretty sure a lot of people did. What do you make of this Trent Alexander-Arnold? I always go Alexander Armstrong. What do you think of that, playing him in midfield? Are you a fan? Are you not a fan?
It's been like people get obsessed about starting formations and stuff like that. And I think England is a little bit like what Charlie does. How he lines them up to start with is not necessarily the positions they're going to play. And I think we just get a bit obsessed with sort of like, well, he's meant to be playing here or playing there. I thought that, first 30 minutes, I thought that as good as any England performance lately, to be honest, that first 30 minutes, there was a drop off, nerves, things get, started losing that sort of encouragement to be front foot a little bit. But I think it'll come out. I think, the more they play as a team, the more they'll understand. I mean, same again, is that the first time that actual 11's actually played together, I think? Not even in the warm-ups or any other, games that England have played. That's the first time they've actually played that 11. So I just think, the tournament you grow into, you get better as you play more games. I'm hoping he starts with the same 11 on there. The only, you'd say, to give a bit more balance, you would say if Shaw's fit, you'd put Shaw in for Trippier. But the rest of the team, I'd leave it as it is.
About you, Jess? Are you making any changes? Any Anyone missed out that you think should be in there?
No, I agree. I think we should carry on with the formation. But we were just saying earlier about our new signings like Connolly and Diamond and the versatility. Yet when it comes to England, everyone's slagging off a player for playing in the wrong position. Make it make sense.
That's a good shout. And the other, I think the other point really is, who else would you play there? Henderson, maybe? No, but who else has got a passing range like Trent Alexander-Arnold? And I personally think it's the right move because of his range of passing. I'm worried about our defense, though. I'm worried about specifically the left back area. I'd rather have obviously a natural left footer there, but beggars can't be choosers. But yeah, and we've got Denmark tomorrow. How do you see that going? Did anybody watch Denmark when they played their first match?
I can't remember, to be honest. So many matches lately in the last few days. It's all merge and morph into one, haven't they? It's the same again. It's that middle game, innit? It's if you've lost your first game, you need to go out and win it. A draw for England will be enough, but I don't expect them to go and play for a draw. I'm seeing the games seem to be a bit more ding dong, aren't they, lately? They're a bit end to end, and they've actually got the nerves out of the way and realise actually we have to make the most of this opportunity. So I'm hoping actually Southgate just lets the reins off them a little bit and just say, right, just go for it.
Yeah. So Jess, are you a Southgate fan?
I am a Southgate fan, yeah. Think he's doing all right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Southgate fan as well. I've said this in the past on many podcasts, like because we do this for Euros and World Cups. We've definitely improved. We're definitely getting further in tournaments than Southgate. But then you get this army of people that say, well, with the players he's got, he should be winning everything. And I'm not quite so sure because, France, Germany, Italy, they've all got just as good players as us. And in a lot of areas, better players than us. So we don't have this right to say that we should be winning everything. I don't think is my opinion. You need a bit. We've certainly got some real world-class players, and you need a bit of luck with them, don't you?
Yeah.
But we haven't got this. We haven't got this defined right. So I'm with you, Jess. I'm a Southgate fan. He's definitely improved us since Sam Allardyce. Was it before him? I think.
Yeah. But same again. You look at a lot of the teams. How many young players are actually stepping up at this tournament and this level, and players are 19, 20, 21 and are absolutely outstanding. And it'll be interesting when you get to the end of the tournament where they do the team of the tournament. I bet you that most of that team is under the age of 23 because you look at, like say, Bellingham. There was a lad for Spain, I think that was only 16, playing. And it's just what's amazed me is actually just how good them young under 23 players have been because they're just fearless in it all.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. And I think there was a player yesterday, I forget who he played for. Oh, Portugal. It was his first competitive match for Portugal. Yeah. They blooded him in the Euros and he scored. So that's that is how you do it. Good stuff. Well, we're on the hour and Scotland are probably about to kick off again. As we speak, it is 1-1 with Switzerland. So I think we could probably wrap it up there. If that's all right with everybody. Just a few things on the admin, just to mention. So we've got, we'll get out what we're doing for the coming season in terms of the Courtyard Club Call and the extra podcast we've got and the Wednesday show. So we'll get all that out in due course. But there is loads of good content to look forward to next season. You got the new SK3 TV from Nick and the gang. They're going to be starting on Monday, so that's something to look forward to on County Music and Culture. I think is what's been advertised, and obviously the Hatters Hangout as well from Claire Worsley Mason. They go live on Twitter every now and again. I think that's I want to say that's Tuesday. Anyway, you're going to be inundated with loads of county content, so we're well served for county content going into next season. So that's pretty good. Ourselves, we've got an interview with Sam Sheridan coming up very soon, so that'll be released to everybody. I'm delighted to say we've finally got Rainsy and Paul Turnbull in the County Arms live before the season starts. So that's something to look forward to. And we'll be at the bar in Pinar as well, probably with microphones. And yeah, we'll try and grab players and we'll do a podcast and we'll try and get as much as we can onto that. And we are booked up with fan guests now all the way up to mid-August. So if you do want to come on as a fan guest, do let us know. But it's going to be mid-August onwards. Yeah, if you ping us or ping me, however you want to do that, I'll book you in and we'll arrange a date. So there's all that good stuff to look forward to. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. The new season, actually. I don't know about you guys.
I think once them fixtures are out in it, then it feels real. Then it feels like we're a League One team. You know, the League Two is gone. Last season's put to bed. Once I see that fixtures and you start planning, right, I'm going to do this away day. Blackpool hopefully is not in the first week in February when it's lashing down with rain. Yeah, so yeah, that for me, this is like. I know there's certain points in the season like transfer deadline day and stuff like that, but the fixtures coming out, and I think as well on Wednesday we get the Carabao.
Yeah, we get the Carabao Cup as well, don't we? Yeah. So yeah, all to look forward to. Last thing before we go, then, any particular fixture you're looking forward to next season, Jess? Did you not hear me?
Blackpool, definitely.
Oh, Blackpool. Oh, right. Okay, sorry. There's a bit of delay there. Sorry. Blackpool. Yeah. Dan, what's yours?
Same again. It's because of the boy. He's not been to the stadium, so it's going to grounds that with the boy he's not been to. I've been to Blackpool before, but obviously he's not been. So yeah, it's just them going to them new stadiums with the boy, which will be exciting. Birmingham will be another one.
Yeah.
So yeah,
nice. Yeah, it'll be Birmingham for me as well, and again all those new stadiums. Right, let's leave it there. Thank you very much, Jess, for coming on. Really appreciate it. I know it was short notice, so thanks for jumping on. Really appreciate that. There's a bit of a delay with Jess, so Dan, cheers, mate, for coming on. And we'll see everybody next week, if not before. Okay. See you later, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. See you.